Say I'm Dead, a family memoir of race, secrets, and love. Author Dolores Johnson chronicles 5 generations of interracial relationships, and she's joining us now in the studio. Dolores Johnson, a Howard University grad who received her MBA from Harvard Business School. Hi, Dolores. Good to see you.
Good afternoon. Thank you.
So this book is about your family history, and your parents made a very bold decision in the 1940s. Your father was black. Your mother was white. They got married. How did they meet and fall in love?
They worked at the same company in Indianapolis. My mother was a mail clerk and my father was the handyman who they sent down to build some shelves for her. And when my mother saw him, he was the first black person she had a real conversation with. She noticed that he was presentable, well-spoken, polite, mannerable, and so on, and it was contrary to everything she'd ever heard about black people. And when he finally asked her out, he had to sit her down and explain to her the trouble they would be in if they were caught together, because she did not know. There had been a lynching in the county shortly before they took up. And there was a law in Indianapolis that you would have to go to jail for at least 7 years, man and woman, for trying to get married. And he feared for his life being with her. And it was only when he explained it to her that she began to see the danger they were in.
Let's reemphasize that it was against the law to intermarry in Indiana. So they had to leave Indiana, and they kept their choice a secret for decades. When did your parents share that part of their history with you? And how did your mother explain her decision?
Actually, I had decided to do my family genealogy, and I only knew my black family. I had never known my mother's backstory. And only when I got all the generations down on paper of the black family did I realize that there was only one white person in my family. And then I realized my mother had to be from somebody, somewhere that I didn't know anything about. And the conversation was forced. I went to visit my family in Buffalo and said, I have a question because half of our family is missing. My parents were very upset with me bringing it up because they had never spoken of it at all. They were not pleased because my mother was afraid of the backlash of her family. And my father still thought 36 years later that the law was going to come after him.
Wow. Racial identity is one of the themes in your book. How did it motivate you to assemble the branches of your family tree?
Well, of course, I knew my mother was white all my life, but I didn't know what whiteness meant in me because she didn't bring that perspective. We lived in a black community. And once I decided to look for my white family, I realized that I owed some understanding to both sides of my heritage, to both cultures.
Now, throughout your life, you encountered episodes of racism, and people have made assumptions about your identity.
They have. They have. When I was in high school, I didn't know much about going to college, although I was an honors student. And my guidance counselor told me, oh, no, Dolores, black girls don't go to college. If anything, you should take up sewing. We had a cross burned on our lawn, my husband and I, at one point, and he had lupus, which developed into a very serious disease for him. And when the doctor ordered him to go to the hospital, they kept him on a gurney in the hall forever because they said there was no bed for a black man, meaning he couldn't share a room with a white man. And so, yes, we know racism. We know racism.
You know, let's talk about this search of your history. When you went in search of your mother's family, your mother said, "Tell them I'm dead." That's where the title of the book comes from.
Yes, exactly.
How did your family react when you did that outreach?
Well, the conversation was long and arduous. When they told us the backstory and I told them I wanted to go and see these people, my mom was so upset that she finally said, if you need to do this for yourself, because I told her I need to name myself and know where I come from. If you need to do this for yourself, you have to say I'm dead because I cannot face them. After 36 years where they think I'm dead, they're going to hate me. I can't do it.
Even though she had a loving relationship with her husband, beautiful family growing up, she just still couldn't face it.
You know, it was 36 years that this was buried in her heart. And after we got into the discussion about her family and possible contact with them, it poured out of her.
A 2021 Gallup poll found that 94% of adults now approve of marriages between black people and white people. In 1958, only 4% approved. What does that statistic say to you?
It says that my parents were married 15 years before the 96% against intermarriage was polled. And so the country has come a long way in terms of acceptance of people and the sense of people intermarrying. And the census is now projecting by mid-century we will be at least a 20% mixed race country. It's an accelerating trend, and that means not just black and white marrying, but Hispanics marrying Asians.
That's right. That's right. That's right. So Dolores Johnson, this is a wonderful book. Thank you so much for sharing with us. It's called Say I'm Dead. It's a family memoir of race, secrets, and love.